This is just horrifying. So something happened in a village in Jos, close to the University of Jos, where it was said a student attacked a fellow student with a machete in front of other colleagues in their apartment. This story is currently trending, and up until now, we still don't know the motive or the main motive behind this, despite the speculations going. But from what we know, the attacker by the name of David Nampom Timap was said to have just woken up one morning in a moment, in a split second, while having some sort of altercation with his roommate per se, or with his friend per se, the victim by the name of Peter Mata. According to eyewitnesses, the other students who were there, David and Peter were friends. They've been seen hanging out for a while. One is in 200 level, the other one is in 300 level. But from what one of the witnesses said, it is music that connects them both. They are both into music production. It's what basically make them hang out together. But on this day, in their apartment, it's unclear what led to what. What they saw was that Peter was on the floor begging his attacker, David, who was with a machete. And at the time they saw Peter, his face was already gashed. He was already bleeding. He had been struck more than once with the machete. The other student, upon seeing this, thought this was just a fight that they could manage. So they kept begging David to drop the cutlass. David is the one in 300 level, is 23. Peter is 22, is the one said to be in either 100 level or 200 level. While the other friends who know these two people were present in this situation, were trying to get David to drop the machete, asking him that whatever it is, they could easily settle it, that it's not that serious. Mind you, Peter is on the ground already losing a lot of blood from the gash that was said to be on his face, the side of his mouth. And it was said that David refused, and David even threatened the other guys that if they joined and if they tried to stop him, he would kill them too. He continued. And that was when the other guys, about 3 of them, saw that this was insane. This is out of hand. 2 of the boys knew that this David had gone mad, and they had to run. And it was only one of them per se who tried his best to hold on and fight David from attacking Peter. This seems like a scene from a horror movie from the way it was described. The other 2 guys ran outside out the compound to see if they can go call for help, to see if they can call more people. Put in mind that this is a village that this is happening. So I can imagine it's a small community. However, it was said that the one guy who stayed back was able to overpower David to an extent that he tried to help Peter to come out. He tried to carry Peter, who was already cut and bruised. He brought Peter out of the house, kept him on a pillar of sand in front of the compound because he couldn't carry him by himself, knowing that there is a crazy human being behind them with a machete. And when he dropped Peter, that was when David stormed out again in an attempt to attack this good Samaritan who was trying to help Peter. But the guy had to run away. He ran out of the compound to shout and call for help. However, the moment he left the compound, that was when David saw an opportunity to lock the gates. He locks the gates to prevent anybody from coming in, and went back where they had kept Peter on the pillar of sand and continued stomping on him, continued hitting him. The boy who was narrating the story said they were outside the gate hearing David slam and hit something as though he was using a wood on a stone. And I guess this was the moment where, after David thought he had successfully killed Peter, he decided to bury him in a shallow grave in the compound. But by this time, the police had already gotten the phone call. They'd been informed of what was going on, and immediately they stormed into the compound, where they held David and put him under arrest before uncovering the shallow grave he had attempted to bury Peter. Now, people are still not clear what led to this. It could have been a regular domestic dispute between friends, but nothing is clear, nothing is sure. There are speculations that these are both cultists, that these are a group of cultists. That is one speculation. The other one is that David was on drugs, that David was extremely educated. He had taken something, and that may have made him overreact over something or some kind of disagreement. Up until this moment, it's not clear why David attacked Peter, his supposed friend, the way he did. He's wanting to fight and throw hands and even scratch and even, just basically normal guy to guy huddle. But to get to a stage where you have to bring out Matchete to slice someone in the face, chase everyone out, not carrying the presence. I mean, if he wanted to actually murder Peter, that is why, this is what I would say. If David wanted to kill Peter in a way where he meant to, he would have done it in the absence of everyone else. The fact that he did this thing so carelessly, so naturally, as though it was normal for him, as though he wasn't saying that, hey, nigga, this is madness, proves to me that this could be drug induced. It's giving drugs. Even as a cultist is not even that stupid. Let's assume David hates Peter for whatever reason. If he wants to kill Peter, he would do it when nobody's watching, given that they're the only ones in that said compound. Why do it in front of 3 other witnesses when he could easily wait and do it when there is nobody? After all, they are both friends. But the fact that he kept this rash action, this insane, monstrous serial killing behavior, and was attacking Peter in front of everyone else and did not even care that they ran away and even locked the door so that he could bury him and hide it. What was his, you have to imagine, what was the thought processes behind even burying him in a shallow grave? It's one thing to do it and leave it in the open and be like, I did it, so what? But you buried him in a shallow grave, which means you wanted to hide it. So when the 3 guys come with police and say that, yeah, he did this, what was going to be his defense? What would David say? Me did it? Well, okay, I didn't do it. Like, they saw you do it. So you trying to hide it shows that you're either stupid or you're just not mentally okay. But that is not going to be an excuse though, whether you are mentally okay or not. This is clearly, to me, drug induced. This is what you get when you consume drugs. And since they are all artists, young artists trying to make the beats because there's a producer there, or maybe David was just jealous of Peter. I mean, given how they look, one looks better, the other, the attacker doesn't look. I don't know if they were both to make music. I know whose music I will most likely buy by looks, but I digress. It's important to know that we still don't know why David did what he did. He hasn't made any confession. I don't think there will ever be any good reason for what he did. Like, I don't think so. Even if he comes to his senses, whatever reason he would want to give would look so stupid to him that he will most likely keep his mouth shut and just blame it on the devil or blame it on the drugs or act mad. You know how they do this thing, that they start to act like they are mad once they've been caught. They have to act insane so that they can get that benefit of, oh my God, he didn't do it in his right senses. Bullshit. He knew what he was doing because he had time to stop. He was asked to stop. 3 people tried to hold him, but they couldn't. Even when the young man was begging, bleeding, there was enough time for him to know that this wasn't good at all. But this is what I feel, and this is what I would say, and I think a lot of people have also pointed it out. The other 3 guys did not do enough, and I will just say it. I don't believe, how can 3 men or 3 young men not be able to pin down one 23-year-old bastard with a machete? He's not a gun. He didn't have a machine gun. That was a machete. You guys saw him attack his friend. All you have to do is pin him down, take that machete from his hand, throw it far away. No matter how erratic, whatever drug he took, he is not Hulk. He is not Superman. He is not Doctor Strange. He is not Thor. All 3 of them could have held him down. But why they did not, I don't know. I just feel like they would have done more for Peter. I feel so. Just my thoughts. All 3 of them were already begging him. So what stopped them from holding him down and tying him up? If it's to do something, they will be able to do it for their own benefit. But now to hold down and pin a madman, they couldn't. They were running away from the fence. Like, come on. Where is the sense there? They should lock all 3 of them up. They should go to prison for not doing enough. At some point, lack of action is enough action itself. Why didn't they do more to stop this David from killing Peter? They would have done more. Peter would have been alive if these 3 other guys had stepped in sufficiently. they would have hit him, they would have attacked, they would have beaten the living daylight out of David. Two of them could have most likely been able to do it. I feel so. But, you know, it's unfortunate. You guys let me know what you think.